Okay, I don't know how well you can see it, but this is the document that was used to terminate my rights as well as the parental rights of Michael Knapp on Justin. Can you scroll down, bud? Just do it really slow though so they can see. Okay, one page at a time. So these are allegations, right? Um, just as an example, Raylene spoke with Talina Hagen. Talina told Raylene she met in January 2014 at the Learning Center. Now, I was going to Fort Hays at that point. I had graduated from the Learning Center in September of 2013. So when would I have had time to be at the Learning Center? Keep in mind, too, that between going to two different schools and having a special needs kids, how in the heck, okay, when would I have had time? What would be the point in going to a school I'd already graduated from? So yeah. So anyway, keep scrolling down, just slowly. Okay, so you see how all these things say according to so-and-so or so-and-so said. Just as an example, do you see a single spot where it says we asked Julianne her side of anything? Look at all the things where it says what hospitals I was in. That is a HIPAA violation, and especially since I did not offer that information. That is against my constitutional right to be left alone. And then here's another thing too. They're asking them these things, but they're not asking them to prove anything to be true. They're calling these things facts, but they have to be able to prove it true and correct before they endorse it with their signature. Otherwise, it is defamation of character and libel. Also, that is technically, by state definition, a kidnapping. So yeah, and it is facilitated by the courts. Would you mind scrolling down another? Oh, and keep in mind, that's speculation. Because, for instance, you see where it says, hold on a second, Norma has concerns, but could she maybe have brought them up with me? Could she have maybe gone to me directly rather than ex parte, meaning behind my back? I mean, just seriously, I'm being nitpicked over things I didn't even do. They're making these things up. She was not his ride to school, for one. He rode the bus. And for two, who has their dishes done at all times? And especially with single mom. Okay, go ahead. They never asked them to prove anything. And also, I flat out said that the pharmacy is always on time, that it's not mailed yet. And besides, I was in the hospital. What could I have possibly done from where I was at to change the situation? I'm there to heal, and freaking out over something I have no control over, how is that going to be therapeutic, and how would that have benefited Justin? And why would I have needed to ask the social worker how he was when I was talking to him on the phone? Also, like I said, these are all behind my back. And what parent doesn't have power trips at all with their kids, special needs or not? That's going to happen. And could they have maybe said this crap to my face rather than being cowards and going behind my back? Really? And then besides, okay, why is it an issue that, okay, yeah, I understand maybe once in a while my house might be messy, but where's the pictures? There was no proof. And why do I need a shower curtain when we take baths? And there were towels on the floor whenever we would take baths. And like I said again, where's the pictures? Go ahead, scroll down again. Again, some of these allegations sound insane. I wasn't paying too close of attention, but on one of these pages it talks about how supposedly I gave her baggies of pills. You know, that reeks of drug activity. So why did she not call the police? You know, because if he was living in a house where there were pills everywhere, and she didn't know whose they were, would that have not made her guilty of a child endangerment by obstructing justice, not saying something, and calling the police immediately? And again, where's the pictures? You know why there are none? Because none of this happened. Go ahead. I mean, if you read through this, they're basically blaming me for his symptoms. Let's say, hypothetically, your child gets the flu. Are you going to be blamed because they throw up? He has a mental illness. I didn't force him to have it. I didn't force him to do any of these things. And notice how it specifically says that basically my therapist had said That doesn't mean I can't raise my son. Basically, they're using my diagnosis as a reason to believe these lies without asking my side of anything. Even though a therapist is saying it doesn't mean I can't raise my son. It just means I'm having a hard time right now. And don't they think maybe there might have been a reason I was angry with Eric and my mom? Could they maybe ask me why? And if they had, don't you think maybe it was possible? Maybe they would have been mad too. But they want me to be a robot and not have emotions. I'm just not allowed to be angry, because if I am, that makes me unstable. Also, it was Matthew Thompson, so that's a mistake. I was not harassing him. I called him to basically to get my things back that were still at his house. I was trying to arrange that, and I didn't harass him. Maybe if they would have, I don't know, asked to see my phone records, I could have shown them. I'm an open book. But they never asked. They just assumed that somebody miles and miles away was telling the truth just because he had a personal vendetta against me. And it's not illegal to go on vacation. Yes, I went to Colorado, but I was there a few days. I didn't want to bring Justin with me yet because the school year was almost over. And I would have gotten in trouble for truancy if I had not sent him. Go ahead. Again, this is insane. They're believing people who are miles away without even asking my side of anything, so I could prove my side. Yes, I was upset, but I'm being lied about. Where's the proof on any of this? These allegations even sound insane. Could they have maybe not asked my side so I could prove in my side? Go ahead. I mean, these people lied on the stand, okay? I think they were blackmailed into saying something. But you know what? The fact that they slandered me on the stand, that's going to put their clinical licenses on the line. Because you know what? Go ahead. Basically, long story short, as mandated reporters, if any of this had truly happened, they would have been mandated to report it. And none of that happened. So that's going to put their clinic, because as mental health professionals, they should know better than to cause some emotional distress on a psych patient. Because that's against everything they're designed to repair and not to cause. Go ahead. Well, they were digging pretty deep. They were pretty desperate for a case because they knew there wasn't really one. Go ahead. So they were making up allegations. The facilitator, she endorsed those lies with her signature without even bothering to investigate whether or not any of them were even true. I mean, come on. They're presumed. That's might as well have just said assumed without even making sure, without investigating. Keep scrolling down. These are other people involved who are accessories. Actually, no, Max Ehlert did a really good job. I was impressed with him. So you might as well scratch that name out of it. I was highly impressed with him in the courtroom. But J. Alex Herman and Robert Anderson Jr.'s attorneys, namely Matt Bristow, and Charlene Brubaker, as well as Judges Glenn Brown and Richard Flax in this particular case. There's also been a Judge Biggie, and regarding my other son, it was Blake Biddle, but I mean, this is just insane. It gets old. Go ahead. Keep scrolling. These are the people who were served, which proves libel because it was fairly published. So, you know, if it got all the way to New Jersey, that's pretty darn published. That doesn't stay within a sealed. No, that's not sealed. That's published. That goes all the way to New Jersey. Charlene Brubaker. Go ahead. That is her signature. This is her document. This is from an email they sent. Oh, that's really fancy that they're crossing that out. They're trying to hide some stuff. Go ahead. Okay, oh, that's, okay, go ahead. That cost me my home. Okay, there's another name that this was published to. No, wait, hold on a second. Let me see. What is this? No, these are just more accessories. These are more people behind it. Behind this black market. Go ahead. See, it's fairly published. This went from Hayes all the way to Salina. These people also saw this. You know what? That's not protecting my dignity as a victim. That is slandering me, defaming my character to people. Go ahead. As well as Michael's. And you know what? We've been through enough. As having been abused, we already lost our dignity. Shouldn't we at least keep our good name to some extent? Go ahead. Oh, is that everything? Was that? Oh, wow. That is everything. See? It just goes to show there were no pictures. They were not told to prove any of these insane allegations. Goes to show there was no investigation. This was all abused discretion out of retaliation because I grew a backbone. And you know what? I'm sorry, but that's just being lazy. That's legal malpractice, and that is a civil rights violation. Using a diagnosis as grounds. Not to even ask my side, not to find out if any of those lies were true, but just to assume and then endorse it with your signature. Right on their letterhead. That makes them accessories. And they did not even make sure these dates were correct. And you know what that makes them? Accessories to federal, Social Security, and tax fraud by their facilitation, without even having made sure any of the information was correct, but yet, according to the paperwork, it was fact. You know what that means? Oh, wow. I don't even want to know for them, because, you know what, I have a heart, and they have families, and I feel sorry for their families. Because I do want to press charges, and I have begged. But I'm not going to sit here and be their doormat anymore. Sorry, guys. Truth had to come out sometime and had to set me free, as well as my family.